Hi, Neil here from Reason Now. I just wanted to do a little comment on this piece on Channel 4 News between discussion between Baroness Altmann and Peter Bone about Brexit. And it's nice to actually see a person from each side and a discussion, unlike on the BBC more often than not, where they just trawl out a pro-Brexit person, let them spout a load of nonsense and even lies without even questioning or correcting them. So this is quite good because at least they've got people from both sides. But anyway, let's have a quick look.
The EU has made its position clear. We are still hoping for some kind of magical nirvana. It doesn't exist. If we want to sustain the industrial success that we've built up over the last 40 years, then coming out of the customs union and possibly the single market, but certainly the customs union, is simply madness.
So great to see her saying, I mean, remember, this is a conservative, a moderate conservative. She's absolutely right. It is complete madness. Let's just see where she goes from here.
We have integrated supply chains which depend upon being part of the EU customs union. We can't make the Northern Ireland border without being properly integrated within the EU. Indeed, we promised in December that we would have full regulatory alignment because there's nothing else that works to keep the Good Friday Agreement. And
so she's right again. There's nothing else that works to keep the Northern Ireland peace agreement going, the Good Friday Agreement. We promised in December that we would have regulatory alignment. And don't forget, David Davis 2 days later just said, oh, well, we don't have to do that. We would just don't have to take any notice of that. So the EU then said, well, you're going to need to put it into law before the talks can carry on, before the transition period can be agreed.
Protect the peace that we have in Northern Ireland.
If there was no deal, there'd be no requirement on us to put tariffs on. There'd be no requirement for us to do border checks. There'd be no requirement for us to have a border in Northern Ireland. It'd be up to what the European Union wants to do in their countries. That's fine. But there's no requirement for us to do any of those things.
So they could have a border, but we wouldn't.
If they wanted to put borders.
And how would that work?
Well, it's entirely.
Nonsense.
Do you really think the Irish government would want to set up a border? Of course they wouldn't. I mean, that's just not going to happen.
Russell?
Right. He's just lying now. Peter is just lying. It was irrelevant whether Ireland want to put up a border or not. It's EU law that they would have to put up a border. It's not a choice of the Irish government. It's EU law that you have to have a border with a third country. You can't have stuff coming into the EU from a third country without a border. So Peter's just lying here, just deliberately spreading lies. He knows what he's doing. It's so dishonest. It's so deceitful. It's basically what the 30 or 40 extremist Brexiteers are doing. And the public need to wake up to this. They're just lying to their faces.
That they are part of the European Union. They cannot just unilaterally say, oh, well, actually, we won't bother with a border. That is not how the world works. We've got to get real. We're misleading the British people. Our party is split, and there are 30, 40, 50 people who have a very poor grasp of how the real world works. Moderate Tories, such as myself, are distraught at what we're seeing. We're becoming an international laughingstock.
She's absolutely right. These extremists are making the country a laughingstock. They are lying to the public. No basis in reality for what they're talking about. It's good to see moderate Tories coming out and disowning them and speaking up. So good on Baroness Altmann.
We cannot continue like this.
So I don't really know what more to say about. We just need the public to know that the Leave people are lying about Ireland. There has to be a border if we come out. It's just a plain factual lie. Anyway, just wanted to make a comment on that video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.